Hello, guys. How can I be streaming without having a topic? Hmm, so unusual. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. How are you guys doing? Welcome to today's program. So, let me move a little while I'm talking. Because me, I don't want them to be on this. So, I hope you guys are hearing me. Let me change position because our kids are already behind me. They're making noise. So, so I'm back. Can you hear me? I hope you can be able to pick up what I'm saying. So, on today's program, I'm only going to talk about the game that United States is playing with Russia. Following the politics that US is playing with Russia, they are really I don't know. I don't know how international game are being played. And the other side they just keep quiet or behave as if something is not going wrong, while in real sense United States is directly fighting Russia via Ukraine. Most of you notice when Russian president traveled to Alaska to meet the American president for them to discuss their personal matters and issue concerning Ukraine. All over the world, the news was number one, front page, Putin in Alaska, United States. Are they going to arrest him? Blah, 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 blah. Not up to some days now that Russian president came back from that trip. The American president is now talking about giving how many days pause, even talking about how the past administration of United States failed to give Ukraine offensive weapon to fight Russia. They were given only defensive weapons. That is what the American president was saying through social media that he created. At the same time, America is selling some missile with almost 200 kilo of TNT to Ukraine as we are speaking now. And those ones are the ones that I don't know which jet fighter is going to drop those bombs on Russia. Maybe there is jet fighters that they have that we don't even know about or know what is going on there. But selling up to, they say that they have sold up to 2,000 pieces of those cruising missiles to Ukraine. Maybe NATO jet fighter will now be flying from Romania and from Poland to bomb Russia in the name of Ukraine jet fighter. You know, I really applaud the Ukrainian president, Zelensky. That guy is something else. Why do I say that? This guy has been looking for a loophole to get NATO involved into this war. I don't blame him. The reason why I don't blame him is that NATO pushed them into this war. NATO pushed Ukraine into this war, directly and indirectly, promising Ukraine heaven on earth, promising Ukraine how NATO is going to intervene if Russia dare to attack them. Since that war started, Ukrainians have been dying. These guys are running out of men. The men, I'm not talking about military men, I'm talking about The normal citizens that are supposed to replace those ones that have died are being wiped out indirectly. While the people that orchestrated this war are sleeping happily in their houses, drinking their tea every morning, picking up phone and promising Ukraine things that can never be feasible. So Zelensky playing his card very well, indirectly trying to get NATO, more especially European part of the NATO, involved into this war. So that he made it. He said it in I think yesterday's broadcast. He said that the NATO soldiers should be dying in this war. You know, that guy, he's a little bit constrained that he don't want to make it open. That why won't NATO join the war, allowing my people to perish in your war, while you don't want to get involved, playing, giving them outdated weapon, using 2, 3 soldiers to throw 1, 3 bombs and run away, you know, and that guy don't want to give up. And a lot of Russian hardliners have advised for Oreshnik bomb to be dropped on Ukraine capital, like to destroy the decision making of Ukraine. And Putin said no. Do you know why Putin said no? Many may think that Putin is afraid of maybe the repercussion. One, Europe wants Russia to kill Zelensky so that they will be able to steal the Russian assets that they have frozen. They will not say that, oh, you killed Zelensky and the politicians of Ukraine. You know, they are the ones that have access to that money. And now they are dead. We can no longer know where they kept it. Yeah. And Putin said no, you know. And the western part of it are telling the world, look at since 3 years of war, Russia is only occupying 4% of Ukrainian land. They can't even move forward. Ukraine is pushing them back. We need to give them weapons to sustain. Look, 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 look. All of us knows how Russia fights. Russia don't fight NATO type of war, like go in, like like Israel did, went in, turned Gaza into rubble, and still upon you turn the whole Palestine into rubble, they can still occupy the territory. Russia don't fight that way. I have studied the way Russians fight their war, and I'm starting to understand that Russians, that is war of attrition. They will hold small territory, making you believing that fighting like 1, 2 weeks, you will be able to crush them and take over that territory. But in reality, you will never ever take over that small territory. On that small territory, the same they did, the same game that Soviet Union did to Turkish Empire. Yeah, Ottoman Empire. The same game on, I think, on Romanian War, that Soviet Union get involved on Romanian War. They seized a small territory. On that small territory, they granted the whole backbone of Ottoman Empire. That made Ottoman Empire to start withdrawing from various areas that have captured and start falling back. At the end of the day, they lose that war. Imagine the war in Ukraine, the entire Western nation plus Japan, Australia, and other New Zealand and petty countries. All of them, let's say all the NATO force are involved in Ukraine. Russia is now, I believe, the number third largest economy on this planet. Upon that, the war is going on. On this war, the entire Western world fall out of top 10 largest economy. Ukrainian graveyard, military graveyard, is now becoming a very big, it's becoming more than a city graveyards. They are now recruiting old people, even advising women to get involved. Where are those soldiers from NATO that promise Ukraine, don't sign that deal with Russia on that particular day? Russia can't do any shit. When they do it, we are here to take care of them, make them bleed. Where are they? We are not seeing no soldiers. I know that some of the some of the NATO soldiers are dying in Ukraine, but they are 0.0%. I don't like Zelensky. I don't like the game that Ukraine played almost, I believe, how many years before the war breaks out. What they did in Donbass, what they did in Odessa, killing their own people, only because their people don't stand by them. And the European Union just look the other side and behave as if nothing happened. But this problem that Ukraine is suffering today wasn't Ukrainian personal decision. Ukraine was believing that with Western world guarantee that their country will be fully integrated into Western hemisphere, they will they will become NATO members. All these things were promises made behind the scene, but in reality, the reverse is the case. Dumping paper money in Ukraine doesn't worth the life of Ukrainians. Man, let's face the fact. That's the reality. Dumping this dollar, euro, billion will never bring back the Ukrainian population that had been decimated. The economy, they don't have economy again. They are running now on life support from America and Europe. That's why their president are playing every game that they ask him to play, even though those games don't suit him. But he has no other choice than to play along. So I will ask Zelensky, push harder, let Europe get involved. Not Macron speaking from both of his mouth, or should I call other European leaders that are just talking? It's like they have turned this war to superstar press war, Who would stand before the press and talk hard and talk strong is the G, you know? I'm in German. The economy is collapsing. Everything is falling apart. The country I'm seeing today is no longer the country that I met when I entered this country. Everything now is in ruin, dismantled. I won't even blame the government of today in Germany. I will blame the Angela Merkel that laid the path of today. What what we are suffering today was orchestrated by Angela Merkel's government and this Donald Trump first tenor. Because Donald Trump do come out and say that this war is not my war, it's Biden war. Had it been I was on seat and the war couldn't have been started, he's a liar. Go back and check when Trump was in power. Who started arming Ukraine? It is Donald Trump. Who started training Ukrainians? It is Donald Trump. Who started sending special forces and special weapons to Ukraine? It is Donald Trump. He will stand today to stand before the press to tell you how call it whatever Joe. I won't even use the word because Joe Biden wasn't his mate. Joe Biden is an old man that have served his nation to his best ability. You know what Joe Biden did was the path that was laid already by today's government. By then, Donald Trump really laid the path, laid the foundation, prepared everything that really happened today. He's now coming claiming to be a mediator. How can you be a mediator in the war that you are fighting? How can you be fighting a war at the same time you're a mediator? Are you not making fool of the planet? Making fool of everybody on this world? thinking that the world are stupid people, that like they have Alzheimer, like they have short-minded, that they can't even recall what happened some days back. That's the way. That is the thing America is playing to the world. They are mediating and looking for this award that they should give to him, that he's making peace all over. You are making no peace. You are a war president. You have blood in your hand. You know, you have blood in your hand. And people may think that this war that they are fighting in Ukraine is all about Ukraine and Russia because NATO is coming close. No, these guys want to kill the Russian leaders because the Western world don't like to buy anything. Western world are criminals. They don't buy. They don't like buying. If you come to Africa in terms of business affairs, you will notice that the whole Africa hates one tribe they call Igbo people. Do you know that those propaganda, those mind manipulation is being orchestrated by CIA and MI6 against the people that they are mining their oil and gas? That is the Igbo people, the Igbo tribe. They will tell you that Saudi Arabia is the largest oil producer. Venezuela has the largest oil depot. Let me tell you, my people, they think they can manipulate the mind of Africans. They created AI. I know that AI lies. I know that AI is not 100%. But we have using AI to enhance our research and now find out that Nigeria is the largest oil deposit on planet. Nigeria has the highest gas, more than Russia. I'm telling you the truth. That's why these guys are squeezing Nigeria. Even Chinese are even losing ground on Nigeria. Go and look. Chinese are no longer holding upper hand in Nigeria. To tell you, the West don't want to buy. If you go to Nigeria, imagine a country that is being pressed to devalue their currency for the benefit of the buyer. Just imagine, listen to me. This is the game they want to do in Russia. They want to play the same game in Russia. And Russian people stand against this ideology. How can you be buying my oil and you want to give me the condition to sell my product? The same thing they are doing to the African countries. The same way France has been stealing Burkina Faso and Mali gold and resources for centuries. All of a sudden, indigenous military man took over, started rebuilding their country, building free houses for their people, building industry that is forbidden to be built in Africa. Do you know that building industry is forbidden in Africa? Do you know that? African leaders are borrowing. Let me give you, and I won't generalize this. Let me use Nigeria. Nigeria government is borrowing billions of dollars. Go to Nigeria, from Abuja to Calabar, from Sokoto to Benin Republic. You will never see one infrastructure. They are using those money they borrowed to build. That is part of the condition. Now ask yourself, what are they doing with those money? That is the question. You may say that it's a lie. How can you borrow billions of dollars and they are not building? What are you doing with that money? Let me tell you. The country are no longer generating any revenue. They are no longer building. Industries that are there are foreign industries. They only use the cheap labor in those countries. After everything, they ship everything back to the West. What the Nigerian government are doing with the money they are borrowing is to pay their legislators. A country cannot pay their legislators that are running the affairs of the country where they reside. They are now borrowing to pay their legislators, from president till local government chairman. And what are they using as collateral? Unmined resources, untapped resources. That's why Nigerians are thinking that the resources beneath their land belongs to them. It has been used, it has been eaten, it has been consumed. It no longer belongs to them. The only thing that will save Nigeria today is when a military government takes over, destroy the whole agreement, dismantle everything already established, before the people will start testing the benefit of their country. Nigeria is producing the largest gas than Russia. This gas now they are laying pipe to ship it to Europe. Like a state in Imo State is where they have started now to suck their gas and they are giving them 5%. 5%. There is no electricity, no infrastructure, school are falling apart, insecurity is taking over. Who cares? All of them are holding investment visa in their wallet. Western country investment visa. That is what they really want to do to Russia. That is the game they want to bring to Russia. They think that if you listen to the way Netanyahu talks to Palestine, Iranians through television, trying to motivate them to go after their government and do this and talk blah 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 blah, all this rubbish. That is the thing, the game that they thought that this playbook is still active, that they can use it to turn the Russians against their government, not knowing that those that experience the collapse of Soviet Union are still alive. And they have seen what the today's government of Russia has brought into their life. And they are the one sending the good news to their people. Don't listen to these people. When the Soviet Union was collapsing, they came to us. They told us they are experts, financial experts, business experts. They want to help us to stand up, to stand on our feet. What they did is build tunnels, put pipes to create oligarchs and show them how to siphon all remaining Russian wealth was moved to the Britain. And as I just mentioned Britain, it came to my notice again that this war that Russia is fighting, it's not all that American war like interests of America. The people that really own that war is Britain. America is fighting Russia on behalf of British. Most of you may not recall that Britain has fought Russia 2 times and they lost that war. And you may ask, what are they fighting for? Britain and France has been fighting to take over Crimea since centuries. If you watch internationally, most of the islands belongs to Britain and France. Go and check the world record. The only one they couldn't take, even though to Cyprus in Greece, there are islands there that belong to Britain. Yes. If you go to Spain, most of them belong to Britain. Go and check what I'm telling you. And they tried that game around Russia. Russia kicked their ass. And they never give up. They keep on trying. Even this war that they are fighting now, I know that whenever Russia started encroaching the Odessa region, this matter may get hot or even get hotter because they want to control the Odessa seaports. And Russia knows that. And Russia is encroaching gradually. But I know that Russia will not stop. No matter the threat that America dish out, if America sanction Russia, America will cripple their economy. Look, Russia has mastered the game that America played against Soviet Union. And they share that idea with China. And now they are now giving it out to India. And when these three superpowers started growing up together, America will go down like house of cards. I'm telling you the truth. If you sanction Russia, Russia will be thriving. You will think that it's Chinese that are driving Russia. You will try to sanction China. You will cripple your own economy. You will try to go after India. You will cripple your own economy. So Zelensky, I applaud you. I know you don't want to go down alone. Keep up the fight. Get these motherfuckers involved in this war. I know that if you push too hard, they may find a way to kick you out because they don't want to get involved. But utilize every instrument in your position to get them involved. Yeah, so that Russia will be able to go after them and they will experience what you're experiencing. If worse come to worse, tell Russia sorry and run to Russia. They will protect you. I know how they behave. I know how Russia behaves. Russia knows that the game being played in Ukraine is invaders, aliens that want to take over the country, that they will fall. So here I rest my case. Thank you very much. Nice seeing you guys again. It has been long. The weather is a little bit good today, and I'm moving around with my Ninja boat, Max G3. Look at it here. So that's what I'm using to move around, look around. So guys, peace here. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget, enjoy your weekend.